Went to the office, to the headquarters, and then they brought the paper. This is when I realized, like, the business side of things. Put the paper right here. They said, Giannis Antetokounmpo, $5,000. I was like, what is my brother's contract? It was like, no, you sign yours first, and then your brother will sign his. I said, no, that's not what you guys told me. You guys said that I'm going to sign, he's going to sign. Like, yeah, he'll sign, but you sign yours first. And he said, no, brother. My mom was
Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak, the two-time MVP, the man who dragged the Milwaukee Bucks to a championship, is reportedly unhappy. And the reason? The Miami Heat don't want his brothers. That's the whole situation. And before you scroll away thinking this is just some petty drama, some throwaway gossip, hold on. Because once you hear what this man has done for his brothers, how deep that loyalty actually runs, and how he literally walked away from life-changing Adidas money just to make sure they were taken care of, you'll understand why this goes way beyond basketball. Let's get into it. When people talk about Giannis, they talk about his game, his length, his athleticism, the way he just physically dominates in the paint. They bring up the 2021 Bucks championship run and the back-to-back MVPs. What they don't talk about nearly enough is what he's been doing off the court. Because this isn't just a guy who sends money home. This isn't just a guy who bought his mom a house, though he absolutely did that too. This is a man who looked at his NBA career and decided it was going to be a family business. And then he made it happen. Giannis has three brothers who've played in the NBA, Thanasis, Kostas, and Alex. And not one of them
hear what y'all want to hear. That ain't what I said. How does them being on the roster affect winning? Is what I said.
And that's his energy has a lot to do with
has
that.
never
Doing
tried
what?
to hide
Being
it.
there, working
He's
hard
never
every day.
pretended
That
his
matters.
brothers
Anyway,
are
there's two
all-stars.
spots, bro. There's
He just
somebody else
made
that
one thing
work they
crystal clear
soft
from the
to
I mean,
very
we gotta want to
beginning.
come there too.
If you want me, you better make room for my family too. That's the package deal. Always has been. Alright, let me break down who these brothers actually are, because some of y'all might not know the full picture. First up, Giannis Antetokounmpo. The oldest brother, born in 1992, is actually older than Giannis. Giannis came to the States through the NBA Development League before earning a contract. Listed at 6'6", he plays the wing, and his entire NBA identity comes down to one word: energy. The man is a dog on defense, physical and intense. It plays with that hunger that only comes from growing up the way the Antetokounmpos did. But let's be honest about the numbers. Giannis has averaged around 2 to 4 points per game throughout his career. He's not a scorer, not a playmaker. What he gives you is effort, toughness, and a willingness to do whatever the team needs. Next is Kostas Antetokounmpo. This one's interesting because Kostas actually has an NBA championship ring. Remember when the Lakers won the title in the bubble in 2020? Kostas was on that roster. He's got length, mobility, and real defensive upside. But the numbers tell the truth. Kostas has barely cracked meaningful minutes in the league, averaging around 2 points per game. Teams have consistently struggled to find a real role for him, and he spent time bouncing between NBA rosters in the G League. Then there's Alex Antetokounmpo, the youngest, still developing, still trying to carve out his place. He's shown flashes of athleticism and potential, but he's the rawest of the three in terms of NBA readiness. He's got the length, the bloodline, and obviously that last name working in his favor. Now, I want to be clear, none of this is a knock on these guys. Making it to the NBA is something fewer than 500 people in the world can say at any given time. But the honest truth is that without Giannis, without his influence and his willingness to use his leverage, there's a very real chance none of these brothers ever see an NBA court. And that's the part of this story most people don't fully appreciate. Here's where it gets genuinely crazy. What Giannis did to get his brothers into the league is basically a masterclass in superstar leverage. Think about it from the Milwaukee's perspective. You've got a guy becoming one of the best players on the planet, a franchise cornerstone you're building everything around, and he comes to you and says, "I want my brothers on this team." And the Bucks said yes. Thanasis was signed by Milwaukee multiple times. The Bucks handed him a 2-year, $3.3 million contract at one point, And that happened for one reason: keep Giannis happy. No front office is handing out contracts to guys averaging 2 points in 5 minutes a night without a very compelling reason. The compelling reason was simple: make the Greek freak feel at home. Make him feel like Milwaukee is where he belongs. If putting Thanasis in a Bucks uniform helps accomplish that, done. Sign here. Kostas got his shot in Dallas first, then eventually with the Lakers. But Giannis's influence extended throughout the league because teams understood that taking care of the Antetokounmpo family meant staying in good standing with one of the most powerful players in the game. And the reason behind all of this, Giannis has talked about it publicly. Growing up in Athens as Nigerian immigrants, the family's financial situation was so difficult that the brothers would take turns wearing the same pair of shoes to tryouts because they couldn't afford 2 pairs. That's not a metaphor, that's a real story. So when Giannis got drafted 15th overall in 2013 and started earning real money, his first instinct wasn't to live lavishly for himself, it was to bring everybody with him. That kind of loyalty isn't performed, it's built from years of shared struggle and shared sacrifice. Now, sit down for this next part because this might be the most Giannis thing that has ever happened. At some point, as he was becoming one of the most marketable athletes on the planet, Adidas came to him with a sneaker deal. Not some small regional package, we're talking life-changing, generational wealth money. The kind of deal most athletes sign before the ink even dries. Giannis turned it down. The reason? Adidas didn't offer his brothers a deal. This man, who grew up selling trinkets on the streets of Athens just so his family could eat, walked away from what could have been a $100 million sneaker deal because his brother wasn't included. He didn't negotiate. He didn't ask them to throw Thanasis some token appearance money. He just said no. That's when Nike came in, understood the assignment, and built the entire Zoom Freak signature line around him, one of the most successful sneaker lines of the last 5 years. And somewhere an Adidas executive is still losing sleep over that decision. They didn't just lose Giannis, they lost him to Nike, who then built a dynasty around him. That story tells you everything about who Giannis Antetokounmpo is. His brothers aren't just people he happens to be related to. They are his foundation, his motivation, his entire reason for doing this. And any team, any brand, any organization that doesn't understand that is going to find out the hard way. Which brings us to right now. Giannis Antetokounmpo has been traded to the Miami Heat, a seismic shift in the NBA landscape. When the news broke that he was leaving Milwaukee, the city he drafted, the city he delivered a championship to, the city where he built his entire legacy, it was one of those moments that makes you stop and just say, wow. Miami makes sense on paper. Pat Riley's fingerprints are all over that organization. Major market, winning culture, they consistently attract elite talent. You can see the vision. But here's where it gets complicated. The Miami Heat are reportedly not interested in signing any of Giannis's brothers. Not Thanasis, not Kostas, not Alex. None of them are part of this arrangement. And that is a massive problem because we just spent this entire video establishing exactly who Giannis Antetokounmpo is as a person. This is the man who turned down Adidas because they didn't include his brother. This is the man who essentially required the Bucks to sign Thanasis as a condition of his own comfort in Milwaukee. His entire psychological foundation is built on family first, always. And now the Heat are saying, we'll take Giannis, brothers not included. Bruh, that has never been how this works. And this isn't just about roster spots and cap space. This goes deeper. This is about what actually makes Giannis perform at the level he performs at. Think about the grind of an 82-game NBA season, the travel, the physical toll, the mental weight of being the guy everyone looks to when things get hard. How do you stay grounded through all of that? For Giannis, the answer has always been his brothers. They were there before the fame, before the money, before the rings and the trophies. When you look into the stands and see your brothers there, your actual brothers cheering, being part of the journey, that cuts through all the noise. That's real. Now, imagine walking into a new city, a new team, a new locker room, already adjusting to leaving the only NBA home you've ever known, and your brothers aren't there. Not on the bench, not in the hallways, not cracking jokes in Greek before practice. That absence is felt, and pretending it won't affect Giannis in some way isn't being honest about human nature. Giannis is mentally one of the toughest people in this league. He's been through things that would break most people: poverty, immigration, and the 2017 death of his father, Charles, from a heart attack. He played through that grief and still won a championship. So no, I'm not calling him fragile, but even the strongest people need their support systems. And when an organization makes a decision that says, we don't value what you value, that plants a seed of doubt. It makes you wonder if you're really in the right place. Here's the bottom line. When you acquire Giannis Antetokounmpo, you're not just acquiring a basketball player. You're acquiring his whole energy, his whole approach to the game. The Bucks understood this, Nike understood this, and a front office as experienced as the Miamis absolutely should have understood this. If Giannis isn't fully comfortable, if any part of his mind is distracted or unsettled because of his brothers, you are not getting the best version of him. And if you're not getting the best Giannis, then what exactly was the point of the trade? Teams have done far more for far less to keep their superstars happy. The Bucks handed Thanasis a multi-year deal for a guy averaging 2 points a game.